Roslynn back at you one more again. Everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by my channel, much love to you and welcome. And to my returning subs, my growing extended family, just thank you. We're all going through all these different changes and rearranges, but trust and believe. When all the smoke clears, you're going to be glad that you experience what you experience. So, with that being said, much love to all. Namaste. Love and blessings. Love and light and many blessings are definitely coming your way. And if you have been watching my videos for a while and have not already, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when I'm about to upload my next video. Also, if you're comfortable enough, please drop me a line or two. I would love the chance to get to know you as much as you're getting to know me, even if it's about the positive feedback of the content of my video, or you're just up telling me about your empathic gift, how it impacted your life, and heading you towards a positive direction. And if you feel like the videos are very uplifting, informative, just give me good vibes, you would love to share with a loved one, family, or a friend, or even a fellow empath that are going through trying times at the moment and needing spiritual guidance, or just needing confirmation or validation towards life path or even soul purposes, please go ahead and share. And while you're at it, give a girl a thumbs up, like, and also share on your social media favorites wherever you see fit. Thank you once again for the love and support. It's so greatly appreciated. And I hope that you're able to resonate with the content of my video. The music that I'm listening to in the background is called Inner Advisor. Meet your higher self, inner awareness, hypnosis for connecting to your intuition. And the video I'm doing today is Twin Flame 101 Heyokas as we work on our encouragement through the discouraging times. It's hard when it just seems like we're drowning more in sorrow than we are in blessings. But it's all about how you decide to look at it, all about how you maintain on focusing on allowing yourself to heal. And at times it really is hard, trust me. It was just like last week, it was really rough for everybody. And it's like there is like preparing us basically for, retrograde is on its way here. Um, and it is just like it comes up in spurts, like it's like currents and waves. It's always coming from all different directions, but it's all about how you choose to look at your situations. A lot of times we are placed in certain situations to give us that growth, give us the endurance to keep moving, allowing yourself to be able to maneuver in between things and being able to roll with the punches. Are you going to allow little mishaps keep you down in the dumps? And a lot of times, there's a lot of us in the world that are going through some really, you know, uh, stressful situations, and when you allow yourself to be able to see, the blessings that you have in between those hard times, I know it's hard. I don't know what situations you're going through. I know about mine. There's a lot of times where, I just constantly just go through things, and a lot of times we get caught up in our thoughts, because if ego is trying to run the show, as well as if you're running off of negativity, doubts, fears, uncertainty, those low frequency vibes, it can really put you in a dark place. And it's just like it, even though you feel like your positive thoughts won't get you where you need to get, but it gives you that peace of mind, because a lot of times we have a war of battlefields in our thoughts. you know um it was a lot of things that I'm still healing from. I always tell myself, as well as y'all, we're all a work in progress. A lot of things that you're going through right now, um it there's a lot of things that you probably have already healed from. There's things that you have came to terms with, you had to just accept and allowed yourself to really, being able to see the light at the end of the tunnel. You have a lot of times you got to push yourself to do it, because it's just like, yes, you could be going through some really dark situations right now, but if you just allow yourself to be able to try to see the positive out in that, it was just like with me going through so many things back to back to back. My car was acting up, and I forgot what it was. I had to go push some other stuff in, and um it was just like so many different things that was just back to back to back for me, in the last couple of days. And I mean, I was just in my feelings like, dad, what else is going to happen? It's just like I'm trying to stay positive, and when I'm positive, the little bitty blessings come. But damn, when that negative kicks in, I feel it, and it's just really crazy like that. And it's just like I had to be able to look at it in a positive way. It's like it was, going through that, and I know I was without my car because my battery was dying and stuff like that. I had to get me a new battery again. And the next thing you know, I had to force myself to, after I done cried and, said all I had to say or whatever, I had to allow myself to see, you're very overwhelmed. You're stretched thin at times. You're over here doing this, you're over here doing that. You're running errands, trying to keep up a household, uh, doing that. But this allows you, even though your truck isn't working, everything that I can go to that I usually go to is all walking distance. So, it's not that the weather's not bad where I am, uh, where I'm used to being at. It's a whole different story. But then it allowed me to say, okay, you can go on nature walks, more nature walks than you usually do. You can get this peace of mind for yourself, because you don't, you're not running everything around. And it's just like with me and my daughter, it's like she always does everything last minute. And I just start snapping at her, like, look, at least start, trying to put her up under a really good work ethic. And it's just like she is like talking to a brick wall. So it was like a lot of things that had transpired in my days that was really becoming too much for me. It's like last weekend, y'all already know, and that wasn't just with me, but there was a lot of people. Some of them were still feeling that way. And then all that, and then me talking to my mom's ex-husband, and it's just like, even though I'm proud of myself for the way I handle it, it brought up old wounds, but I was appreciating those things that are coming up because it allowed me to really, face whatever it need to be faced and just make peace with it, you know. And that was kind of hard to do because it's just like, I stay on my side of town, they stay on theirs, it was a death in the family. And, that old Roslynn was like, hell no, don't call him back, bump that, say your prayers to your auntie or whatever and leave it as that. You ain't even got to call them. It's like when people died in your family, they made jokes about it and thought it was funny. But then I had to allow myself, and I was just seeing so many different positive videos. It's like, even when people treat you dirtiest, the dirtiest, still allow yourself to show, you reflect your good character. You don't change just because somebody has done you really dirty, because that allows you to know, you know, you're better than that. You're better than them. You have a better work, uh, a character than what they do. And I mean, it's just sad when you have to talk to grown folks and it makes you feel like you're back in high school again, but it is what it is. But I allowed myself to do that. I really faced it, did what I had to do and really allowed myself to come to terms with that, because a lot of times when I see everything that is transpiring in my life, and I see my mom, a vision of my mom a lot. And it's like my mom always tells me how strong I am, because she was just like, I knew this was going to happen. My mom basically, she had a premonition of what I was going to have to go through, being able to, be honest with me about a lot of things, because there's a lot of things about her marriage, and where it fell apart, with her trying to reconnect me with my family, really tore that situation apart. But it was like, it was more of a blessing in the skies, for her. But it was just like a lot of things that I had to really, really look at. And it was hard to be able to find those encouraging vibes or those encouraging words when you're feeling so much pain and sorrow, because it was just like, being able to try to comprehend, if somebody's parents, or somebody that really wants to see their family, why would you keep that from them, but I guess when money changes people, it really does. And it was just like when I being able to see my situation and see how devilish people can really be, for this whole situation I've been placed in. But it's like I had to be able to see that, just because they're like that, that doesn't mean I can be like that. I don't have to be like that. It's all of a choice. There's a lot of people that may come against your life and may feel like what I deserve and what I don't deserve. And that was very hurtful to me, because I'm just like, if the shoe was on the other foot, how would you like it if somebody was manipulating the situation because you wanted to meet your family all over because your parent is a public figure, and they left you all these things, and your family doesn't want you to have it because that, I guess they think it's nothing's going to come to them, or they feel like I don't deserve anything. And it allowed me to walk down my life to where I always had to be in survival mode. I had to have that instinct with me, having three girls. And, basically I did what I had to do for my children. There's times I shoplifted, was not, that's not something I'm proud of. I don't wrote bad checks trying to pay for stuff, and, took stuff back to the stores just to make sure my kids had food and stuff to get money, a lot of things like that. And then when you know, getting evicted out of houses, and having your cars repoed, and then you finally know that these things would have never had to go that way if your family would allowed you to do things. It was a lot of times they broke me down, like, I know I did my own world of decisions, and I made bad decisions, but a lot of things that were also placed on my life as well, you know. But it's just like, when I see my life and how it was compared to how it turned out now, it's truly a blessing, But it was like I had to really allow myself to see, somebody that you really respected at one time is like a total stranger, Um, and it was something, I ain't even gonna lie, I was like very angry, especially if that your own adopted daughter and her children had lived in poverty all this time. And when you're asking a parent that you want to allow see their biological child, but you have no problem with asking for money to make sure you can live comfortable, but make sure that your child and your grandchildren live, badly, poorly, So that was a lot of, there was a lot of things that I had to really sit here and try not to allow myself to really be in anger for what they have done, and it was hurtful, it was really hurtful. Like, how dare you do that to me? How dare you do that to your grandchildren? And especially, if they're talking to you about financial struggle and you're still okay with that, I'm just like, some people don't have no damn soul. I really feel that way at times, but then I have to understand there's a lot of times things happen for a reason. There's always purpose behind the pain that we endure on a daily or a yearly, whatever. These things make you stronger. These things make you wiser. These things will take you places that you never imagined. You will come connected with people in, certain situations that you never seen yourself connecting to, all because of the things you have endured in life. You know, um, Being able to tell my story is not like I want people to feel sorry for me. Playing victim, that's not my role. Being able to be open about the things that I went through, having family that, really robbed you of a lot of things. I've been violated mentally, emotionally, physically, all these different things, and still be in a right mind, you know. Seeing a lot of times I used to beat myself up for not, connecting with my dad when my dad tried to connect with me, being able to, all I have is like memories, or it's like, I can do spirit writing, and, he communicates with me that way. But then, remembering, I said, okay, you talked to your dad 2 days before he passed away, you know, um, that was in a way of his goodbye. All these different things has transpired. And, it's just a lot of times how my dad always tells me how proud I am. He's like, I'm so proud of you. I never expected, I knew I was going to expect some good things from you, but this is not something I knew that you had in you. And he was like, I see why they were like that with you. They're very threatened by you. And it's just like, because you speak your truth and you don't bite your tongue for nobody. And it was just like, no, I mean, I don't have to be mean towards people. That when you're allowing yourself to be lashing out, because I used to do that with them, but that allowed me to just be able to see, and them getting off on that because they knew they still had that emotional hold on me. And those are the times you have to really be encouraging to yourself. It's, it's like, just because there's people out there that act soulless and heartless doesn't mean that you need to be like them. You be good regardless. You heal where you need to heal at. You keep, projecting your truth out. Love, light, positivity, you know, because even though you've been through stuff like this, a lot of times you be placed through things, and then you'll be that person they're using as an example. And then when you tell the things that you have struggled with, the things that you had to come to terms with, things that you had separated yourself from, and the dark times you endured through those wars that you're going through of healing, you're not going to look like anything that has been through those things. And then those are the things that's going to astonish a lot of people, because it's like when I'm very open to things that I've gone through. There's so many people like, Roslynn, you're better than me. Because I said, trust and believe. There was some impure thoughts that was going in my mind. I was having mental funerals a lot when I dealt with them. A lot of times when I talk to them, being able to talk to him, my mom's ex-husband, like I'm talking to y'all now, and I mean, it took a lot. I was really proud of myself, but then the anger came back, and it was just like, I really love this man as a father, and just to know that you're willing to sacrifice my well-being and my happiness to make your wife happy and her to live, you want to make sure I suffer for the rest of my life for something I don't even know really, these are insecurities you're placing on me, and I had to allow myself and keep telling myself, don't take it personal. When people, you know, uh, when people go through things like this with their families, him and his wife went through a lot of abusive, situations growing up in life. My mom's ex-husband's dad was very brutally, you know, abusive towards them. It's like, as soon as he turned 18, he went straight off to the military. So, and then it's like, I had to tell him, I said, you tell me all these things about how your father made you feel, but you're projecting this towards me. So what makes you think I won't feel the same way about you? And couldn't really answer that, you know? And it was like, I had to be able to nip that in the bud, because I noticed that a lot of things that they pressed on me and exposed towards me, I was pushing that off of my children. And it's like, no, you have to stop this cycle. It is very hurtful. You can really mess somebody up mentally, because it's like, I've seen the things as how my children do stuff now, and it breaks my heart, because these are the things that I expose my kids to. That's why I always try to make sure families first. When you need to talk to me, I'm there. And a lot of times it's like hard for them to do that, since it was like, it was hard for me to show affection, because I never really got that growing up. When I did, I was very young, so I didn't get that. It was like affection was not known for me. Like, I was not allowed to be, you know, um, like, somebody can hug me and say it's going to be okay. I'm not used to that. I never got that. They always told me, get over it, shut up, get over it, all those things. So it's just like, to try to comfort my children, I don't know how to do that. And I really had to allow myself to break that barrier, break that cycle. And I'm like, no, because I've seen how it brought me up. I don't want my grandchildren going through this. You know, they don't need to be paying for something that was done, throughout those years. And I had to really allow myself to really face those things. I knew, you know, that I still had to heal. And a lot of times, I had to hear my loved ones from the other side telling me, don't be so hard on yourself. Look at the things that you're trying to heal yourself from. And it's not just one thing. You are healing yourself from losing a mother, knowing the identity of your mother, but she's been kept away out of your life because of somebody didn't want information coming out. Then you find out about the only father that you knew about in life just used you as a pawn, use you as a financial money cow. That was it. And then trying to make sure that, he drives you either to go to suicide or you come up missing and stinking somewhere, so they can live good off your estate that, your dad left a trust fund for you. So it was a lot of things that I had to deal with, all at one time. So I used to be so angry, because I'm just like, why can't I just get over this? And, it takes time to do that, because there's times you can look in videos from my past, and I will sit here and cry and be angry and try to understand, how could you ever do this to somebody you say you love? But then I had to allow myself to say, You can't expect somebody to love you that they don't love themselves. You can't. Because if you're asking for love, they don't know how to do that. Everything is deception to them. If they know there's somebody that has a hold over them and they know they can get trouble for it, oh, he's going all the way out to make sure either that doesn't happen or he cuts them loose ends. He makes those loose ends disappear. But I had to allow myself to be encouraging during these discouraging times, because it was like seeing, when you have to allow yourself to be able to see, when you want connection, I have to mentally connect with my dad spiritually. Or if I want to feel some kind of bond, I have to go look at, videos of seeing him perform, or concerts that he's held, and sometimes it makes me very emotional and I can't deal with it because it's too much, you know. Then we have people that are his extended family. I don't like using fans, that they have a lot of group pages with my dad. And, there's a lot of people that still hold anger and sadness because nobody's been held responsible for the medicine that he took that he overdosed on. That's a lot to deal with, and I guess that was it opened up a sore wound, um, when it came to the airplane accident last week. It brought all those old feelings up again, because there's a lot of people that Kobe has impacted in their lives, and they lost inspiration, a person that really inspired them to do a lot of things. And I knew what that felt like, because it was so many people that were in their feelings about my dad. I was, stuck because I knew something was going on that day and didn't know what it was. I was at work and couldn't even really concentrate, kept holding my heart because I felt like my heart was like, something was wrong with my heart, and started having panic attacks and didn't know what it was. And then all these things fell short when they said they found my dad in the elevator. And, and it just really put me in a dark place. Seeing all the things that, I had to face, things that wasn't really pretty, knowing that, things just happened. I've been able to connect with my dad, but there was deception lied in between that. There was a lot of things that I held guilt over. And I had to allow myself not to go crazy over these things, over the answers that I'm really wanting at that time, needing closure, wanting a peace of mind. But I had to allow myself to shift where I need to heal that. I couldn't be so stern on seeing them being punished because what they did, even though I was very pissed. I had every reason to. But then I had to allow myself to make peace with myself, make peace with the things that I've done in my life, work on me, healing where I need to be healed from, coming to terms with what I had to come to terms with, and I had to really allow myself to speak those encouraging words. It's like, you're going to have so much strength because of the fact that you are still here and you endured so much, and you were physically and spiritually by yourself not spiritually by yourself, but physically and mentally, by yourself to a certain extent. And you're dealing with all this stuff for a long time by yourself, you know. But knowing I had my spirit guides and I had my family that has crossed over, that was always there to reassure me, you're not by yourself. You're going to get through this. You're so powerful, because the fact is you endured something like this and you didn't, it would have been easy to lash out. It could have been easy to kill somebody. It could have been easy to kill myself. But I chose to do the right thing, allowing myself to heal. Whatever makes do is what makes do. I allow God to make that judgment, even though I try not to be judgmental. But I had to allow myself to fix what I focused on. If I wanted to focus on healing and keeping my mental straight, I had to allow myself to work on that. I really did. And, when you're going through all these things in life, life can really kick the shit out of you. Excuse my language. It really can. But it's all about how you allow to deal with that kick you just got. Are you going to allow yourself to keep remembering that kick and what the pain you felt? Or are you going to allow yourself to get back up, and allow yourself to know, it might be another kick again, but you're going to be prepared for it. Allow yourself to dust yourself off, allow you to grow where you need to grow, allow yourself to heal where you need to heal. You know, we don't We don't have the choice in the matter of the cards that we are being dealt to, but you have to allow yourself to learn how the hell to play them. You know, you have to be able to do that. And that's what I had to do. You know, I had to allow myself to say, you know what, it's okay to say you are hurt. You are, because I mean, these are the only, you know, family you know. And the one that really cared about you the most is no longer here. The one that you tried to strongly connect to is physically no longer here, but you know, on the other side we talk all the time, you know. So all those different things has happened in my life, and you know, I'm very proud of the accomplishments I made so far, and knowing it can only get better from here, you know, because I take it day by day. I had to allow myself to stop worrying about the future because it hasn't got here yet. The past, you can't fix it, but allow yourself to heal from the things that were placed in your life. You can hold on to it and allow this stuff to just deteriorate you, allow yourself to stay down at a low frequency, or you can allow yourself to use this as a healing mechanism, not a coping mechanism. Because it's like when you say cope, it's like you're still holding on to that, but trying to be able to work around it. No, I'm allowing myself to part ways with that pain, and being able to flip that and convert it over to strength that I can be able to project out towards other people, to let you know, things really hurt when you go through it. Allowing yourself to be honest with yourself and say, yes, this hurts, but I'm not going to, you know, keep, you know, beat myself up about that. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to have these different emotions, but it's all about how you choose to deal with it, how you choose to rise above all that. You know, prove the devil wrong. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just a lot of times things be, you know, on you, but a lot of times people are very threatened by the energy you carry, and they will try to find every way, which way possible to bring you down. You ain't got to be like that. You ain't got to be like that. It's all about what you choose to deal with. I deal with a lot of people that send me death threats, telling me, oh, I'm not, you know, my dad's daughter or whatever, or, you know, or mock me for the things that I've said. You know, it is what it is. I know the truth. He know the truth. And that's all that matters. You know, if people believe me, that's fine. If people don't, that's fine too. You know, but this is my situation. This is this, you know, the road I have to walk on. I'm allowing myself to heal. I'm allowing myself to raise my consciousness as far as I possibly can. Knowing, you know, you did good today, tomorrow, you're going to do even better. You know, you have to allow yourself, even on your lowest terms, you have to find the encouraging words to keep pushing. Don't allow something that you cannot change to hold you back in a place that you no longer need to be in. It's up to you about what you decide to do. It's up to you about how you decide to look at the things that has really placed you in a bad place. So, but I hope you were able to resonate with the content of my video. I would love to say, give a post notification out to Weston as well as James Ishman. Much love to you, and Spirit Horse Studios as well. You know, welcome to the fam. You know, if this is your first time coming, good to have you. You know, drop a line, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share. Um, know you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved. And knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. And if you want to stay in contact with me, but don't feel comfortable with dropping what you need to say here, but you really want to talk to me one on one, you can always find me up on Facebook Messenger. You know, if you have to send me a Facebook request or whatever, just to get it in touch with me on Messenger. Don't take it personal. I'm not accepting any friend requests, but I would love to be in contact with you on Messenger. So, you know that you are truly blessed, highly favored, and forever loved, and knowing there's always somebody out there praying for your better days. I pray that everything that you're working on in life to bring towards your reality comes 100 times more than what you asked for, and it comes way sooner than you expected it. And I will see you on my next video. Much love. Peace. Be wild.